Modern warfare no longer forgives mistakes, completely disregards outdated tactical manuals, and ruthlessly shatters any illusions regarding the superiority of raw human mass or the concrete-bound defensive doctrines of the past century. What is unfolding today in the Ukrainian skies and far beyond our borders is the epicenter of the greatest and fastest technological revolution in human history. Small, almost imperceptible in the air, unmanned aerial vehicles, created by the genius of Ukrainian engineers and hardened in the flames of daily battles, have become the premier strategic weapon of this era. They have altered the very nature of armed conflict, transforming the front line into a completely transparent digital matrix where every enemy move is captured within seconds. Right now, Ukraine's unmanned systems forces are demonstrating to the entire world how decentralized, intelligent technological solutions can completely paralyze and bleed dry the colossal military machine of the aggressor. These are Ukrainian drones, and they are, methodically, surgically, and relentlessly incinerating the occupiers on every meter of our land and in every corner of the enemy's deep rear. The beginning of summer 2026 marks the transition of this aerial war to a fundamentally new, strategic level. The Ukrainian drone fleet has permanently eliminated the concept of a safe zone for the aggressor state, shifting combat operations thousands of kilometers deep into Russian territory. Next-generation, long-range kamikaze drones have opened massive northern and eastern fronts, attacking facilities that were previously considered completely protected by layers of integrated air defense. Devastating strikes on oil refineries in the Leningrad, Ryazan, Saratov, and Nizhny Novgorod regions, alongside successful aerial operations against assets of Russia's Baltic and Caspian fleets, have proven the complete helplessness of Russian air defense. When Ukrainian drones pierce through 1,000 kilometers of hostile airspace and precisely incinerate the distillation columns of oil giants or strike warships directly within the dry docks of Kronstadt, they inflict more than just financial damage. They destroy the economic and psychological stability of the empire, showcasing its vulnerability to the entire world. Disabling these critical energy hubs strikes directly at the financing of the war and deprives the occupying forces of diesel fuel and gasoline directly on the front line. This deep strategic destruction instantly and painfully echoes along the line of contact, where Russian troops find themselves under a total logistical blockade. Across all the hottest sectors of the front, from the ruined streets of Vovchansk to the flanks of Kupiansk, Chasiv Yar, Toretsk, and Pokrovsk, Ukrainian drones have turned the enemy's supply routes into continuous death zones. Thanks to the development of medium-range systems, Ukrainian units have established full fire control over land corridors. Not a single ammunition truck or fuel tanker can pass unnoticed. The enemy was forced to completely abandon the use of large columns and even heavy armor for resupply, switching to extreme logistics methods, the use of civilian pickups, ATVs, and motocross dirt bikes. However, high-speed and maneuverable FPV drones adapted to this change instantly. Guided by pilots wearing special digital goggles, these small kinetic projectiles act proactively. They catch up with high-speed motorcycles on winding roads, fly directly into the open hatches of armored vehicles, or masterfully neutralize enemy infantry right at the narrow entrances of underground dugouts. At the very heart of this confrontation lies an intense and fierce engineering war within the radio airwaves. When the enemy poured billions in resources into deploying powerful trench-bound and mobile electronic warfare systems, attempting to create impenetrable jamming domes to sever the connection between the Ukrainian operator and the drone, Ukrainian technological thought made yet another evolutionary leap. Smart drones equipped with autonomous homing systems operating on artificial intelligence and computer vision algorithms have appeared en masse on the battlefield. This technology completely rewrites the rules of the game. Now, a human only needs to detect the enemy target and lock onto it on the monitor screen. Once the object is secured, the internal neural network processor of the drone takes full control. Even if Russian jammers completely burn out the radio airwaves, eliminate telemetry, and the pilot loses the video feed a kilometer away from the target, the drone's onboard computer independently continues to analyze the visual stream, calculates the trajectory, and tracks the moving target until a precise impact. The enemy's EW has become helpless against the artificial intelligence operating inside the device itself. Parallel to this, the Ukrainian skies are being conquered by innovative drones utilizing fiber optic communication lines. They unroll an ultra-thin but incredibly strong physical cable behind them directly during flight. Because the control and transmission of crystal-clear video signals travel through the optical fiber rather than radio waves, these drones are completely immune to any electronic interference. They smoothly fly deep into the most heavily protected enemy positions, pierce electronic domes, and entirely obliterate the occupiers' camouflaged command posts and communication hubs. Furthermore, the war for dominance has permanently moved into the airspace above the front. Ukrainian interceptor drones have turned the hunting of Russian reconnaissance wings, such as the Orlan, Zala, or Supercam, into a highly effective art. By intercepting and shooting down these hostile eyes at altitudes of several kilometers, Ukrainian drones completely blind the enemy's artillery, depriving it of the ability to adjust fire on our positions. A recent case near Avdiivka perfectly demonstrated the incredible tactical flexibility and ingenuity of Ukrainian crews. Operators of reconnaissance drones discovered a massive pile of Russian anti-tank mines hidden among the brush. The enemy had accumulated this arsenal right next to a logistical hub for subsequent mining of roads and blocking of Ukrainian maneuvers. A Ukrainian drone equipped with dropped munitions immediately hovered over the spot. The first 2 grenades dropped by the pilot failed to detonate the heavy mines, but the crew did not back down. On the 3rd attempt, the munition hit the critical node precisely, triggering a colossal detonation that completely obliterated the surrounding positions and turned the enemy's arsenal into ash. This is a vivid demonstration of how a single, low-cost device can eliminate a threat to an entire tank battalion before it ever materializes on the battlefield. This entire titanic, multi-layered air fleet operates as a single, finely tuned mechanism, where every type of drone, from a small FPV to a heavy night bomber and a long-range strategic wing, performs its specific role. And the core, fundamental philosophy of this approach is that iron must fight instead of humans. Ukraine is resisting a brutal invader that possesses a massive mobilization resource and absolutely does not value the lives of its own citizens, throwing infantry into regular senseless meatwave assaults every day just to capture a few meters of ruined earth. We cannot and will not fight the same way, burning human lives in the fires of attrition. Technological superiority is our only path to preserving the nation. Every ground robotic complex that, under blistering enemy fire or in the thick morning fog, evacuates a critically wounded soldier from the front line, every remotely controlled machine gun turret that independently holds the defense of a half-destroyed trench, and every Ukrainian drone that destroys enemy equipment is a saved, protected life of a Ukrainian warrior. These iron birds take the heaviest, most brutal blow of the war upon themselves. They protect our most valuable treasure, our people. They provide confidence that the sons, fathers, and husbands holding the line today across the hottest directions of the front will be able to return home, hug their families, and rebuild a free, strong, and sovereign state. Ukrainian drones have permanently inscribed their names into the history of global military science, proving to all of humanity that the future belongs not to brute force, but to intelligence, innovation, and the unyielding courage of those who firmly hold the controls of the sky in their hands. The sky belongs to the innovators. The sky belongs to the defenders.